Hey kids, today's lesson I'm going to show you how to make a straw rocket. Here's the straw, here's the rocket. Put them together and you get something that looks like this. Okay kids, for this project you're going to need a pair of scissors, some tape, one piece of paper, one straw. And I know that some of these supplies, like some of the things you have around the house, I've got some messages from you guys that you don't have some of the supplies that I've been using. I'm trying my best to come up with supplies that you would just have just laying around. But that's part of the fun of these kinds of activities, is trying to solve problems and fix them. So I came up with an idea. If you don't have a straw at home, you can use pens, because they actually have a straw right in them. But here's a word of warning. My wife loves these pens. They're just normal pens, but she loves them. And if I used one of these, like somebody chewed the end off of this one, she's probably mad already. But if somebody used one of these for this, she'd be upset. So make sure you don't use your mom or your dad's favorite pen. And here's how you get this to be a straw. I'm going to use this pen right here because the ink is all gone. I don't know why we still had it, but it's there. So watch as I get this little end part off and this part off, and we'll figure out how to get a nice little straw. Okay, so here it is. We're going to pull out the ending of it, and you just have to pinch it with your fingers and pull. Then we're going to figure out how to get that little nubby part out. So I'm going to take another pen, pull out the pen part, and watch. I'm going to put that pen into the hole like it's going to be the new home for it, but I'm only using it to actually use the other part of the pen. And then watch this. I'll make the noise where there it goes. It didn't really make that sound, and it pops right out. Be careful you don't leave that around, especially if you got little people at your house, like little brothers and sisters who like to put things in their mouth. That's a choking hazard. And there is your pen. Beautiful. And now it is a straw. I think for the building demonstration, I'll just use a regular straw, because you guys, restaurants are starting to open again, so you might get your hands on a regular straw, and so I'll use this instead. But once again, you can do this with the plastic straw. It works just as good. So watch this. We're going to start with a regular piece of paper, and we're going to make this little rocket. It's only about this big. So it's not even half of a page. So you're not even going to use a whole page. So I'm going to fold. I'm going to fold it long ways first. And then use my scissors to cut this apart. And I'm doing it outside today because everybody inside is annoyed with each other. So I cleared out so I don't add to it. Sometimes you have to do that when you're in a family. You got to recognize when everybody needs a break and you get away from each other. All right, so watch this next part. I only want this however long. I can make this the entire length of this, but my straw, look at this. My straw is only this big. So I want it to be smaller than the straw so that I can put my mouth on the end here to blow it out like you saw me do earlier. So I'm just going to fold it like this. Then I'm going to check it with my straw. And my straw, that's enough for my mouth. I mean, I got a big mouth, and that's enough for it. So I know that that's going to work. Here's another way to rip the paper. I'm really good. That's what it is. Now you're going to take this square and kind of put it off to the side. And now we take the straw, and because I want the rocket to be just a little bit bigger than the straw, I'm going to take the straw and roll it, and this takes a little bit of practice. Hey, freeze right there. If you guys take out your crayons and color one whole side of this piece of paper, then your rocket can be a certain color. This is the point you want to do it at, though. Okay, start up again. If you mess up, start again. You shouldn't need any help doing this, no matter what grade you're in. All right, and there you go. So I just rolled it up. Now I take a piece of tape, and I'm going to tape it, just to hold it on both ends. Now watch this. Say you can't use the tape. Say you're having trouble. You can't use the tape. Look, I just leave it on the side. Take my scissors and cut it. If tape is a big mystery, or those dispensers, I used to cut myself on them once a week when I was a kid. I'd go like this, and I don't know how I would do it, but this thing would just destroy me. So that's how I ended up with these beautiful hands. I won't let it destroy me anymore. No, my hands are gross from gardening. Okay, and there we go. All right, so now look at this. That goes right in, and we're living it. Okay? So now the next part. You go, Mr. Dijon, yours had these cool, flared out whatnots coming out the side. Well, you actually need these, because if you tried to shoot this right now, it wouldn't have those. And the wind would blow it, and it would go all over the place. These actually do a little bit to keep it from blowing all over the place. So we need those fins. We also need to cap off the top. So we'll do that next. We'll do the cap off next. To make the air so that this thing has something to blow, when you blow into it, you need to stop the air. So we're just going to put a piece of tape over the top, like this, like so. And we don't want that to blow out. So watch what I'm going to do. I just put the tape over the top of it right here. And now I'm going to put a piece of tape to hold that piece of tape in there. And now look what I got. It's like the top of it is like a nub, and I can blow air in the other side, and the air has something to hit. Okay? All right, now let's work on those fins. These fins you might want to experiment with sometime. I like to make triangular fins. Okay, I don't need this humongous piece of paper for it. So I'm going to fold it in half and then fold it again just to get a square here. See that? That's about the biggest square I want. It's not very big. And this can be done any way that you want, but if you're doing it exactly like mine, now believe it or not, that seems really big for the side of here. I don't think we need that. So I'm going to cut those in half like that. Now I get two triangles. I'm going to stick one in my mouth. Just to hold it. And to keep me from talking. Nope, I have to talk because I have to tell you stuff. And watch this business. The end that's all stopped up, we want to do this in the opposite end of it. The one that the straw is going to go into. So you can see I'll put the straw in there. Because we did a nice job, it goes on kind of tight. So you see the straws in this end. So it's the end with the straw. And you just kind of want to hold it, and you want to put your tape on. Freeze again. A fly is just about to invade my space over and over and over again. It's funny. Okay, keep going. Shoo, fly. Don't bother me. The fly wants me. I'm not letting the tape go over the side or the end. Like that. Good. That's good right there. Another piece of tape for the top. got wings on both sides. I think they're technically called like stabilizers or something like that, but who knows? Okay, so now that you got this going here, you're missing something on the top, a cone. And the cone is the hardest part. You notice mine is kind of dented because I already flew it once or twice. So the cone, you might need a little bit of help on if you're in the younger grades, but try it on your own first. And if you can't, then get some help. Or just leave it alone, let it fly without it. Okay, so watch this. I got baking soda because it's a circle. This fly wants to eat me. Get away from me. Got it for the circle, and circle of it. That's about the circle. That's actually too big. We'll see about it in a second. Cut out the circle. I'm gonna put a orange top on it. I like orange. Oops. Orange. Now I'm going to fold my circle over and then fold it over again on itself. So I folded it over one way, fold it over another way. And that's going to, when I open this up, watch what it gives me. I'll make the lines here so you can see better. It gives me like a cross, it gives me like a middle part here. To make a cone, you don't need the whole circle. You just need to get rid of this one. Any of the four. So you see I put a little X on there. And watch what happens. I'm going to cut away that one little part. And I think even my friends down in kindergarten, you guys can see that. Once you fold that, you're getting rid of 1/4 of the circle. And now watch the magic that happens. When you close this and turn it, look what's happening. I'm getting a cone. If I made a bigger one, I could have like a hat or a cone for my finger. See that? It's like a hat for my finger. But I'm just going to keep turning it until I get to a point that I like for the top. Freeze again. Watch this. The fly is back and he's going to be crawling and stalking me in just a moment. Man. Okay, go again. Rocket. See, I told you this one is too big. I can cut it. That's the fun part, is just trying to figure out how to make, like if I'm giving you these directions, then you could make one. You could make one that's as big as your garage if you want, if you had a big piece of paper. But you need a big pipe for that. I'm going to show you one that I did, because I did this sort of with 5th graders. They made I had a launcher though for them. This is a straw one, so your launcher is your mouth. Look at this. I'm just going to cut all the way around it, make it smaller. Isn't that crazy? Just like that. Now, that seems like a really big cone still, but it's kind of cool. See, that's it right there. I'm going to leave it because it'll be cool. Now, taping it down. Also kind of weird. I need to hold it down, so I'm going to tape it one side like that, and then the next one goes like this, just like that. And I have a nice orangish top for the top of my rocket. Now, word of warning. You have just made something that has a point on it that you're now going to take your mouth and blow through the other side, sending this out to the world. This cannot end up inside. anyone's eyeball. This would be very bad to get in the eyeball. So you have to be very, very careful. This point right here, even when it's dull, this can hurt somebody. So you have to be very, very careful when you're shooting this. Make sure everybody's clear and you go out and shoot it. Now, let's go out and test this one. All right, now I'm outside and I'm gonna put my mouth to this thing and blow as hard as I can and send it down the sidewalk. One of the things that we would have done is if we were in school, we would have taken a tape measure and measured each one of these. But over here, what I did was I went and grabbed a piece of chalk. I don't know if you have tape measures at home, so a piece of chalk and you can mark it out and try it over and over and over again. Another thing you can do is have a family member make one and you guys can go head to head. And then a third way that you can do this is you can lay on your back and blow it straight up in the air. Just be careful because it's going to come back down and you don't want to get hit in the head. And here it goes. Got to take a deep breath here. And dun 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 dun, boom. Oh man, that went out there. That was out there. Now kids, I'm going to give you a secret here. If you're going against your parents, their lungs are way bigger than yours. So don't let them tell you that it's just because of some skill they have or something. They can just take a deeper breath. Now watch this move. This actually makes it go farther. I just got it together and oh baby! And it probably went 3 feet farther just from doing that little dance and shimmy shaking a little bit. There it is. So I know some of you guys are going to go crazy when you see this because here's the one that we just built. But here's one I built with 5th graders. Look at the size of this one. And the pipe is just a piece of thicker, bigger pipe. So watch what happens when I use this one instead. Yeah, this pipe is sick. My wife was doing the taping here, and so I almost hit her with it. Whoa, watch out.